I was sitting at home scrolling through my phone when I received a message from an unknown number. Don't block me, we don't have much time. I was about to delete the chat, but the next message made me freeze. My name is the same as yours. I'm 28 years old, and this is you in 6 years. I smirked. Very funny. The reply came instantly. Right now you will look at the clock. It will show 22:14. I looked up. 22:14. A cold feeling hit my chest. Coincidence, I wrote. In 10 seconds, your upstairs neighbor will drop something heavy. I started counting. 1, 2, 3, 10. A loud thud came from the ceiling. I felt chills run down my spine. Who are you? The answer appeared immediately. I'm trying to save us. I decided to test him. What was my first teacher's name? He answered without a single mistake. Then he named the password to my old laptop. Told me where a photo was hidden that no one had ever seen. I stopped typing. If you are really me, prove it more. In 1 minute, you will receive a call from an unknown number. Don't answer. A minute passed. The phone rang. Unknown number. I declined the call. How do you know this? The reply appeared almost instantly. Because I have already lived this day. Part 3. Trust no one. Listen carefully. In 2 days you will meet a person. He will change your entire life. But you must not trust him. Why? Because it was because of him that I ended up where I am. I asked, where exactly? He kept typing for a long time, then wrote just 3 words. I can't say. In 5 minutes, someone will knock. No matter what you hear, don't open. I laughed, and at that exact moment, knock, knock, knock. Someone was standing behind the door. I looked through the peephole. No one was there. The phone vibrated again. Don't look a second time. But it was too late. When I looked again through the peephole, someone was looking back at me from the other side. I stepped back. It was my face. The same clothes? The same scar on the hand? He slowly smiled. The phone vibrated. Don't open it. That's not me. The person behind the door whispered, Don't listen to the phone. It lies. I'm the real one. I froze. The phone wrote, He will say exactly this. I decided to ask a question only the real me could know. Both answered at the same time, the phone and the person behind the door. Word for word, I no longer understood who was real. The phone sent a photo. In it, I was standing near my own grave. On the headstone was today's date. Below it was a caption. You opened the door. I hadn't opened it yet. Or had I already? I wanted to reread the chat, but the messages started disappearing one by one, as if they had never existed. Only the last one remained. If you are reading this, it means it's already too late. There was another knock on the door. The phone wrote, Don't open. From behind the door, I heard my voice. If you don't open now, we will both disappear. I put my hand on the handle, took a slow breath, and opened the door. There was no one there, only my phone. It was lying on the floor. On the screen, a new chat was open. Sender, you, year 2038. And the first message was already typed. Don't reply to yourself. I was frozen. The phone screen went dark for a second and then lit up again. He is already close. I slowly lifted my eyes from the floor. The footprints were fresh, wet, as if someone had just walked barefoot. But very slowly, like they weren't walking, but flowing. A cold draft came from the corridor, even though all the windows were closed. I took a step back. The floorboard under my foot creaked quietly, and at that exact moment, a responding creak came from the bedroom. As if someone inside repeated my step, but with a delay. The phone vibrated again. Don't stop, and don't turn around. Funny. I was already standing in a way that my back was facing the kitchen. Ahead of me, and only the corridor and the bedroom door opened just a hand's width. I didn't remember leaving it like that. The door slowly swayed on its own. Just a little, as if something inside was checking whether I was watching or not. I raised the flashlight higher. The light trembled in my hand, and at that moment I noticed something that made me feel truly sick. The footprints on the floor did not end at the door. They started inside the bedroom and led outward. The phone lit up again, but this time there was no message. Only a single new photo. I opened it. It was a picture of my bedroom, taken from a ceiling corner, and in the lower part of the frame, me. Standing in the corridor with a flashlight, looking straight into the camera, but the worst part wasn't that. In the photo, I was not alone. Behind my back, someone was standing. I slowly lowered the phone, but I didn't take my eyes off the screen. The image didn't disappear, and this time, nothing on the photo was moving anymore. It had simply gotten closer. The figure behind my back was now standing almost right next to me. I felt a cold wave run down my spine in real life, and at that exact moment, a light touch. Not a hit, not a grab. Just as if someone ran their fingers over my jacket. I jumped forward sharply, turned around. Empty. The corridor looked exactly the same as a second ago, but the air felt different. Too silent. Too even. As if everything around had stopped making sound. The phone lit up again by itself. New message. You already understand. I didn't reply. My fingers weren't obeying me. And then the screen flickered. A second message appeared. Not text, but as if being typed in real time. I am not standing behind you. A pause. I slowly lifted my eyes from the phone. And immediately the screen continued. I am standing where you are looking right now. I swallowed and realized that all this time I wasn't looking behind me. I was looking forward into a place where nothing should have been. But my gaze could no longer leave the darkness, and in that darkness something finally became visible. Not a person, not a silhouette, but a shape that looked like empty space that had forgotten to become a wall. The phone vibrated nonstop. New message. Don't move. And almost immediately another one. If you blink, I will become complete. I stood still. My eyes started to burn. The darkness ahead felt denser, closer, like glass slowly being pressed from the other side. And at that moment, I realized something even stranger. I don't remember when I last blinked. And in front of me, there was no longer emptiness. There was a face. But not just one. It looked like it was forming from my own features, but delayed. The figure in front of me didn't move, but I could clearly see it was forming. First the eyes, then the line of the mouth, then something that should have been me, but looked like a mistake trying to learn how to be human. The phone in my hand suddenly became heavy, as if extra mass had appeared inside it. And a new message showed up by itself. Now you understand why you weren't allowed to look. I wanted to step back, but my legs didn't respond immediately. And at that moment, the figure did something it hadn't done before. It blinked. Exactly like me. With a fraction of a second delay, and in that same moment the phone wrote, "Too late." The light in the apartment flickered. Not off, but as if it glitched, like reality lost a frame for a moment. I inhaled sharply and realized the air was not mine. It was slightly colder inside my chest than it should have been. The figure took a step forward, without sound, and with each of its movements I felt something inside me stepping back. Not my body. Me. The phone fell from my hand. The screen stayed glowing on the floor. And the last message appeared without vibration. Now you will become who you are. And then everything went dark. But the darkness wasn't empty. It simply stopped being mine. The darkness wasn't complete. There was a sense of presence inside it, as if space itself remained, but the observer had disappeared. I tried to move and realized that movement still existed, but it no longer matched me. A second later, I heard a sound, not outside, but inside my head, like a notification without a phone. Synchronization complete. I suddenly opened my eyes, although I didn't remember closing them. In front of me was the corridor again, but something had changed. It looked slightly wrong, like a photograph copied from an original. I took a step and saw the phone on the floor. The screen was cracked, but it was glowing. The same chat was open again, and a new message was already there. Now you are on the other side. I looked up. There was no one in front of me, but the feeling of presence remained, as if the observation was no longer directed at me, but through me. And then I understood. Silence no longer reacted to my actions. It reacted to my thoughts. The phone wrote again, "Don't try to leave." I wasn't even moving, but the message continued on its own. "You are no longer the one who entered." And at that moment, I noticed the reflection in the black screen. There I was standing, but I wasn't copying movements. I was simply looking a fraction earlier than myself, and smiling. I looked at the reflection and realized it wasn't copying me. It was anticipating me. Every glance I made there appeared before I even managed to do it here. The phone on the floor lit up again. Final synchronization has begun. The air became dense like water, and I felt the boundaries of my body dissolving. The corridor started to fold, as if the apartment had no fixed shape. The reflection stepped forward, and I understood it could now leave. The screen went dark one last time, and a message appeared. "Thank you. Now you are the source." And at that moment, I could no longer tell where I ended.